Emily had never been the kind of woman who believed in ghosts. She was practical, rational, and organized to the point of obsession. Her husband, Daniel, often teased her for labeling every drawer and color-coding their baby's clothes. Their daughter, Lily, was only 6 months old. She slept in the nursery across the hall, a bright room filled with pastel-colored stars, stuffed animals, and one small night lamp shaped like a rabbit. It was the kind of room that made you smile just by looking at it. When they bought their baby monitor, Daniel picked the latest model: HD video, night vision, motion sensor, and two-way audio. "So you can talk to her if she wakes up," he said. The first few weeks were peaceful. Lily slept through most nights, and Emily would sometimes watch her through the monitor, amazed at how small and perfect she was. The gentle static from the speaker became the comforting background noise of their new life. But one night, something strange happened. It was a little past 2:30 a.m. Emily woke up suddenly, unsure why. The room was quiet, Daniel's steady breathing beside her. Then she realized she could hear something faint, crackling through the baby monitor. It wasn't crying. It was humming. A soft, tuneless hum, like someone absent-mindedly singing to themselves. Emily sat up, her heart pounding. She reached for the monitor on the bedside table. The small screen showed Lily's crib, motionless under the dim light. The baby was asleep, breathing softly, but the humming continued. It was low at first, like a whisper, then it grew a little louder. A woman's voice, gentle, almost soothing. Emily frowned. She turned down the monitor, then up again. The voice was still there. "Daniel," she whispered, shaking her husband's shoulder. He groaned. "What's wrong?" "Listen." She handed him the monitor. He held it close, his sleepy face tightening. "Is that someone singing?" Emily nodded. "But Lily's asleep." Daniel rubbed his eyes. "It's probably picking up another frequency. These things glitch sometimes." Maybe he was right, she thought. Baby monitors sometimes caught signals from nearby devices, walkie-talkies, radios, even baby monitors in neighboring houses. They lived in a quiet suburban area. Maybe someone else had a monitor on the same frequency. They went back to sleep. The next night, Emily checked the monitor again around the same time. 2:33 a.m. Nothing. Relieved, she put it back on the nightstand and drifted off. But at 3:10 a.m., the humming returned. This time, it was clearer. A woman's voice faintly whispering a tune. Not quite a lullaby, not any song Emily recognized, just random notes, off-key but strangely deliberate. Then, beneath the hum, came words. "Hush now. Shh. Mommy's here." Emily sat bolt upright. No one was in that room except Lily. She grabbed the monitor. The camera showed the same calm scene. Lily asleep, the mobile above her crib turning slightly in the air. "Daniel, wake up!" He mumbled something but didn't open his eyes. Emily stared at the monitor. "Who's there?" she whispered, her voice shaking. For a few seconds there was only static. Then, through the crackle, came a reply. "Mommy." Emily froze. Her skin went cold. The voice wasn't her baby's. It was a woman's, calm, clear, and close to the microphone. Her breath caught in her throat. She wanted to run to Lily's room, but fear pinned her in place. The voice spoke again. "She's sleeping. Don't wake her." Emily's trembling hand reached for the door handle. She pushed it open quietly and crossed the hall. The nursery door was ajar. She peeked in. Lily was fast asleep, exactly as on the monitor. The nightlight glowed softly, the mobile still spinning. No one else was there. Emily walked in, scanning every corner. Closet empty, window locked. No sound except the baby's gentle breathing. The monitor in her hand now only gave static. She whispered, "Who are you?" Nothing. She stood there for a long moment before returning to bed, her hands shaking. The next morning, she told Daniel, "You're just tired," he said gently, pouring coffee. You've been waking up at night every few hours. Sleep deprivation makes your mind play tricks." "But I heard her," Emily insisted. "A woman. She said, 'Mommy.' It wasn't just noise." Daniel sighed. "I'll check the monitor tonight, okay? Maybe it's interference from another house." That day, he checked the baby monitor settings. Frequency channel, Wi-Fi, everything. He even updated the firmware. "Should be fine now," he said with a reassuring smile. For a few nights it was, until the fifth night. This time, Emily didn't wake up by herself. The baby monitor did. It beeped. The screen flickered to life and she saw movement in the nursery. A figure. Someone was standing beside the crib. At first, she thought it was her reflection, distorted by the dim light. But no, it was a woman, pale, her face hidden by shadows, leaning over Lily's crib. Emily screamed. She jumped out of bed and ran, Daniel right behind her. They burst into the nursery and found no one. Lily was crying now, eyes wide and wet. Emily scooped her up, holding her tight. Daniel searched every corner, every closet, even under the crib. Nothing. "Someone was there!" Emily cried. "I saw her!" Daniel picked up the monitor from the floor. It was still on. The image of the empty crib stared back. "There's no one," he said. Emily's tears mixed with frustration and fear. "We're leaving this thing off, I don't care." She unplugged it and put it away. That night, for the first time in weeks, she slept without it. But the peace didn't last. A few nights later, Emily woke up again. Not to sound, but to silence. The kind that feels wrong. She turned toward the crib out of habit. It wasn't there. Then she remembered. Lily was in her own room. She got up and opened the door. The hallway was dark. The air felt heavy, colder than it should. She walked to Lily's room and stopped. The door was slightly open. Inside, the nightlight was on, but the mobile wasn't moving. Lily wasn't crying. She wasn't making any noise at all. Emily stepped closer. The baby was asleep, peaceful. And then she heard it again, that same humming. But this time, it wasn't coming from a monitor. It was coming from the corner of the room, the closet door. The humming grew louder, like someone behind the door was rocking a child. Emily froze, her breath shallow. Then a soft whisper. "Shh, Mommy's here." Her legs nearly gave out. She backed toward the crib, her voice shaking. "Who are you?" The humming stopped. Silence. She waited, heart pounding, staring at the closet. The handle twitched. Then, very slowly, it began to turn. Emily snatched Lily from the crib and ran from the room. She didn't stop until she was outside the house, barefoot, clutching her child under the cold streetlight. Daniel came running after her, confused and half asleep. "Emily!" "What are you doing?" She was crying, unable to speak, just pointing at the nursery window. From where they stood, the faint glow of the nightlight flickered inside. And for just a second, Daniel thought he saw movement, a shadow passing across the curtain. The next morning, Daniel called the police. They searched the house, checked all locks and windows. Nothing. They said maybe she'd seen her own reflection, maybe the monitor malfunctioned, maybe exhaustion made her imagine it. But Emily knew what she'd heard. She and Daniel bought a new baby monitor, a different brand, encrypted, no Wi-Fi. She didn't want anything that could pick up signals. For a week, everything was quiet again. Until one night at exactly 3:12 a.m., the new monitor crackled. Emily was asleep on the couch, the monitor on the table beside her. The sound was faint at first, static, then a breath. Then, softly, a woman's voice. "Why did you turn the old one off?" Emily's eyes flew open. The voice continued, calm, almost gentle. "She misses me when you don't let me sing." Emily sat frozen, her pulse hammering in her ears. She turned the monitor toward her. The image on screen showed the empty nursery, the crib, the nightlight. Then something changed. The mobile above the crib began to spin, slowly, without wind. "Stop," Emily whispered. The voice chuckled softly. "You should sleep, Emily. I'll watch her tonight." Emily's shaking hand reached for the power button. She turned it off. The screen went black, but the voice didn't stop. It came from behind her, right behind her ear. "Good night, Mommy," she screamed, jumping up and spinning around. No one was there. The living room was empty. The monitor lay silent on the floor, dark and lifeless. The next morning, she packed a bag. She told Daniel she wanted to stay at her mother's house for a few days. He didn't argue. He'd started to look pale himself, worn down by sleepless nights and fear he didn't want to admit. They left the monitor behind, unplugged. For 2 days, it stayed quiet. Emily almost began to believe it was over. Then, on the third night, Daniel called her. His voice was shaking. "Emily!" The monitor turned itself on. She gripped the phone tighter. "What do you mean, turned itself on?" "I unplugged it. It's not even connected to anything, but I heard it's playing something." "What?" she whispered. "A recording," he said, "of you singing." Emily's heart dropped. "I never—" But he interrupted her. "It's not your voice." There was a long silence on the line. Then Daniel spoke again, quietly. "She's saying Lily's name." Daniel stayed on the phone while he went to the nursery. Emily could hear his footsteps, his uneven breathing. He whispered, "The light's on. I swear I didn't—" Then there was a crash. "Daniel!" No response. The line went dead. Emily drove back home, heart pounding, every red light in agony. When she burst through the door, the house was silent. "Daniel!" she screamed. No answer. She ran to the nursery. The door was open. The nightlight glowed softly. The mobile turned slowly above the crib. Lily was asleep, peaceful. And Daniel, he was sitting on the floor beside the crib, eyes open, pale as paper. The baby monitor lay in his lap, screen glowing faintly. Emily ran to him. "Daniel, what happened?" He blinked slowly, his lips trembling. She said she missed me too." Emily looked at the screen. For a brief moment, she saw her reflection, tired eyes, messy hair. Then the screen flickered, and she saw a woman standing behind her in the reflection, smiling. "Shh," the voice whispered from the monitor. "Mommy's here." Emily doesn't use baby monitors anymore. She doesn't stay in that house. But sometimes, late at night, when she's rocking Lily to sleep, she swears she can still hear it. Faintly, behind the hum of the wind, a woman's voice, singing softly, somewhere just beyond the walls. And if she listens too long, Lily stirs and smiles, as if she recognizes the song.